welcome to 5 Questions with Rachelle, where we explore the thinking, the regenerative thinking behind our decision making. So come along and join us. We're going to have a lot of fun. Thanks, Evelyn. It's Rachelle from Soil Restoration Farming, and we're doing our 5 questions with Jacob Wolki from Wolki Farm. So if you don't mind, Jake, if you could just tell us in 1 or 2 minutes a little bit of introduction to yourself and what you're doing here.
Sure. My name's Jacob Wolki, passionate regenerative farmer. We've got a stacked enterprise farm here in Albury, New South Wales, so 45 hectare, 2 full-time staff plus myself, and we do goat, lamb, beef, pork, chicken, eggs, honey, fruit and veggies, and then we do a heap of small goods, jams and relishes and everything, and all of that sold direct to market. We have our own butchery facility in town, so we do custom processing for other like-minded farmers who are wanting to enter the market, trying to give them our couple years of experience with that, so to accelerate them, because we want to build, community and change around real food and real farming. Yeah. And I think, real food's an amazing conduit to so much progress and restoration that I'm all in.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it sounds like you've come so far in such a short amount of time. And the whole purpose of asking these questions is about the thinking, the regenerative thinking. So that's why what we want to know is, it sounds like you've done it all, but I wouldn't doubt that you've got plans. And so the first major question is, what's on your mind? What's the big thing that you want to achieve in the next year?
Yeah, I feel like I've got shackles on. People say you've done a lot, and I appreciate it. And I know when you reflect, we have, but there's a lot to do. In a year, I'd be tickled pink to have another farm. We want to exit a little bit further outside of Albury to get into more rural agricultural zoning. We sort of do have our hands tied here a little bit with what we're wanting to do. Currently, it's okay, but with our future plans, we'd love to have on-site abattoir processing for our own animals, and to be able to offer it to community, and and everything that else that stacks along that. But at the moment, I'm herd building, and I'm working towards offering fresh. So at the moment, everything we offer is frozen because it's seasonal and clunky. It'll be 60 pigs in a month and then nothing for a couple. Right. But in the next month, we'll have fresh pork and beef available every week, and not long after that, there'll be fresh chicken every 3 weeks, which is actually really hard. Has been really hard to orchestrate. Yeah.
So getting to this larger, sort of out of town space.
Yes.
What's important in that for you?
I've looked at a lot of properties, and I'm probably the number one thing that we're wrestling is we don't want to be super removed out of community. I'm a sales guy, marketing guy, and to be able to reach in and touch Albury easily, to be able to have people do a day trip for a farm tour, or to be able to attract people to our venue space or our restaurant on site is important. We don't want to be removed. We want to be really connected with people. So trying to find something that ticks the box of the land we want with the price we can afford within 40 minutes of town is challenging, but I think we'll get there. I don't want a flat, grassy farm. I want hills. I don't want all hills, but I want hills, and I want woodlands. I really want to get into the bush.
Yeah. Okay, so some of the obstacles about leaving town, but what is it that makes you want to leave the close to town space that you're in now? What is it that you...
Just regulations.
Yeah.
Just want to get out of the regulatory pressure. Building an abattoir here is nigh impossible. Yeah. And even if I did get it over the line, when the housing development over the road starts, I'll be shouted out. I would anticipate. And scale. We have 45 hectares here, and we'd like more.
There's like freedom and space to do it. Yep. Awesome. And so what would be the challenges or obstacles that were going to get in your way of achieving that?
Cash. It's the more money, the easier these problems sort of get. We have some resources and we're cash flow positive, so we're working towards that, but we could definitely accelerate things a lot quicker with cash. Yep. We probably could take on cash, from different avenues, but we're a little bit headstrong. We don't want to sort of sell our soul along the way, and we like our autonomy. I'm not a very good, I'm a good team player top down maybe, but maybe not top up. I don't like being, we've been self-employed 3 generations in Australia for a reason, I think, and it's not that we're brilliant, it's that we're not. We don't like being told what to do. Decision maker. So cash would be the biggest thing, and and on a personal level, trying to encourage my wife, who has all her girlfriends and loves coffee culture, to get 40 minutes out of town is really challenging. COVID's helped that. Lockdowns has helped that, but couple obstacles.
So what will success look like with this? You know, in a year's time, if we were talking,
Yes.
where would you like to, yeah, what would it look like? Where would you be
Oh, look,
there?
if 12 months isn't really a long window, if we had land and had started the conversation with the, the council body, Hume Shire or whoever it is, Grady Hume, if we'd started the conversation and the process of looking at an abattoir, that'd probably be realistic.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to say, 5 years, if we say 5 years,
Yeah.
I'd love to have the farm, I'd love to have a couple hundred breeding cows, I'd love to have the abattoir that's servicing dozens of local clients, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to snowball. I think the first couple of years, especially with the red tape and the fundraising, is going to be the slow part.
So having that red tape gone would be a great place to be in a year's time, so that you can snowball.
In a perfect world, wouldn't it be amazing to have regulations and compliance that was relative to the operation that you're trying to establish? Imagine not being beholden to the
Sounds
same.
like common sense, Jake. Be careful there.
Imagine not being like we're talking about a facility to do half a dozen cows a day. Imagine having to comply to something that was that, not this export thousands of cows a week compliance. Then that's where the challenges come in.
So my last question is a bit of fun. If you were to win the lottery, and let's say lottery means any amount of money,
Sure.
what would you do?
It'll be landing cows at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep. And pigs. I love my pigs. They're probably my favourite animal to farm, but you don't need much money to get going with pigs. Like, they reproduce so quickly and effortlessly. Not minimising the work pig farmers do, but it's fast, right? So I don't feel like I need much help. But if I had a few $1 million, it'd be landing cows I'd be getting into. How good are assets that don't rust, rot, or depreciate?
Right.
And they multiply in the paddock.
Yep.
And you can eat them. So if the dollar tanks out and Bitcoin goes to hell, you've still got real value, and it's got 4 legs in the paddock, and it'll keep chasing.
Or if we had something like a pandemic or something, and we had to feed ourselves.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's wealth.
For sure. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and
Pleasure.
we've had a great farm tour. We've had 4 hours on Wolki Farm today, so I definitely recommend that when that opportunity comes up to give it a go and book in.
It goes quick, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
I kept checking. I was like, surely that's not 4 hours.
I can talk all through school. Stop talking, Mr. Wolki. Mr. Wolki, put a line on your name on the board. Stop talking. You shut up. And then you leave school, and as soon as you get out, people go, geez, you're a good talker.
And now we don't want you to stop, Jake. We absolutely love it. All right, thanks, and I'll see you next time with 5 questions with Rachelle.